Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. So let's play this.
But of course, it doesn't. They're not going to know. They're not going to know all that. But I could see them trying to use it. What you're saying. But there is a textual reason why the KJV renders it different. I guess is the main point.
So practically, if they use this objection like, oh, it's us out of every tribe, nation. See, those are the Israelites out of the languages, people. How would you respond to that and expose that?
Well, the problem is it says has redeemed us to God. So it's not saying like has redeemed Israel to God. It's saying us. But then even in the KJV rendering, based upon the Textus Receptus, after it says has redeemed us to God, it says how that came about. So you have two.
Right, so the scripture that this is character, this is something that we've gone into many times. Okay, so this is in Revelations 5 and 9. It says, and they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. All right. So what he wants to create a stumbling block because it says out of every kindred, tongue, and people and nation. And again, it's being intellectually dishonest because there's a reason for that. Because the Israelites have been scattered and assimilated among or within every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. Every kindred, tongue, people, and nation there is on this earth, there are Israelites dwelling among them as them. Lost sheep, right? It is written, Hosea 8 and 8, it says, Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. Right? Our people were scattered among the nations and they did not retain their identity. They were assimilated among them, just like how during the Hellenization period, many Israelites were assimilated among the Greeks and became Greek. Right? They assimilated. Now, what does the word assimilate mean? Assimilate, right? To take in, right? To absorb, to integrate people, ideas of culture, become absorbed and integrated into a society or culture, right? The Israelites were absorbed and integrated among the different kindreds and tongues and peoples. So they were speaking the language, they were taking upon themselves the identity of those peoples, which is why when you go to Isaiah, the 11th chapter, what does it say? Isaiah 11. The remnant, right? Restored. All right. It says, Isaiah 11:11, it shall come to pass, this is prophecy, that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, right? And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. This is what we're reading about in Isaiah the 5th chapter. Now, specifically, it said redeemed. And see what these demons like Vocab Malone want to do, right, is they don't want to go into the meaning of words. and apply it to the scripture. So it says Revelations 5 and 9, and they sung a new song saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seal, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God. Now, just take it in the English, right? What does the word redeem mean? Right, so you have redeem, right? To buy back, right? Because there's a specific understanding that you're going to get in the scriptures, and we're going to get to it. To buy back, it doesn't simply mean to buy back. That's why it's redeem. The R-E means back. Emer means to buy. Yeah? Buy back. Something which was already bought previously that was lost is bought back, to redeem. It's kind of like when you sell something to a pawn shop, you can go back and redeem it. You can go back and redeem it, meaning buy it back. Right? If you sell your house, it was once yours. You can go and redeem that house back to yourself. You're buying it back. Right? What does it say here? In general sense, to rescue, deliver, save is from meaning make amends for, make good, perform, fulfill. Now, the problem that Vocab Malone and these guys are going to have is that there's no prophetical basis for the redeeming of any other nation other than Israel in the Bible. There's no prophetical basis for it. The only prophetical basis in the Bible is for the redemption, the redeeming, the buying back or the bringing back of Israel to the Most High. The other nations can't be redeemed to the Lord because the Lord was never dealing with them. Now, I'm going to get even more into the term redeem, right? And has redeemed us by blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign in the earth. Now, even if you go to the cross references, right? We're going to get the cross references. As you see here, what they've avoided doing is cross-referencing, thou hast redeemed us to God by blood. They have refused to get any prophetic basis for this event from in the Old Testament because they know, right? They know that if you go into the prophecy and look up who is to be redeemed, it will be only Israel. You see? So they've look at this. They've specifically, for the part of the scripture that says redeemed us to God, not one scripture have they referenced here that is not in the New Testament. Why? Why? They've not referenced one single scripture. Look, see? They've not out of every kindred. They didn't represent 11. Daniel's 4 and Daniel 6. That's the best they could do. Because they don't, this is called being intellectually dishonest. Right? Now, let me show you something. Now, look at all these scriptures here. Prophetic scriptures. So, Isaiah 1 and 27. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. Israel. Right? That's not already a specific scripture. Isaiah 43 and 1, which is prophetic. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. Right? Isaiah 44 and 22. I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions. This is prophecy regarding the Messiah. And as a cloud, thy sins return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. And if you go to Isaiah 22, because you're going to say that's talking about everyone. It says, sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth. Break forth into singing, ye mountains, O forests, and every tree therein. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and glorified himself in Israel. You see, for men that want to get spooky with it. All right? See, they don't want to go into the context of the Bible to get understanding. They don't. They running away from the context. All right? We can go into Isaiah, because that's where Babylon the Great, same thing. Go ye forth of Babylon, flee ye from the Chaldeans, with a voice of singing, declare ye, tell this, utter it even to the end of the earth, ye say, the Lord hath redeemed his servant Jacob. Isaiah 51:11, therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Right? Isaiah 52:3, for thus saith the Lord, ye have sold your souls for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. What did we read about? Yahweh redeemed his people without money, right? That's what he did. Isaiah 52:9, break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem, for the Lord hath comforted his people, he hath redeemed Jerusalem. All right, so no, it don't need to say specifically Israel in Revelations 5, because it's already established who the Lord is going to redeem. Isaiah 62:12, and they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of the Lord, and thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken. That's talking about Zion, Jerusalem. Isaiah 63:4, and I just want to get to, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Now, this is going to get important, because this Isaiah 63, right, is God's vengeance on the nations, right? Because the nations are going to get broke up. Now, Yahweh Shai, it says, the year of my redeemed is come. Yahweh Shai is the redeemer, right? He's the agent of the redemption. Now, the word there for of my redeemed is come is Gaal. Now, what is a Gaal? A Gaal is to redeem, to act as kinsman redeemer. See, this word for redeemer is very specific to Hebrew and to biblical and Hebrew culture. Now, it says to redeem or act as kinsman redeemer, avenge, revenge, ransom, to do the part of a kinsman. Now, what part is this, right? It says to redeem with God as subject individuals from death, Israel from Egyptian bondage, Israel from exile, to redeem oneself, to be redeemed. All right? By marrying a brother's widow to beget a child for him, or to redeem from slavery, to redeem from land, to exact vengeance, right? This was the duty of the kinsman redeemer, meaning a relative. See, Yahweh Shai is our relative, and he's playing the part of the Gaal, which is the kinsman redeemer. And the kinsman redeemer could deliver his family from slavery, from judgment, right? The avenger of blood, that's another role that Yahweh Shai is playing, right? He shall save his people from their sins. It's not just anyone, it's a relative. Kinfolks. So who is being redeemed to God by Yahweh Shai? His kinsman. Because he is a Gaal. But they don't, but vocab don't want to go into all of that. He don't. That's why they willingly ignore the fact that Israel was scattered among the nations, man.
Little phrase there, followed by another prepositional phrase. Prepositions show relationships. So to God is who you're redeemed to.
Only the
but how did that happen?
Only the Israelites can be redeemed to God, and only the Israelites are prophesied in the Bible to be redeemed to God. Right? Only the Israelites were prophesied to have their sins blotted out. Only the Israelites. There's no prophetic basis for the understanding that Vocab Malone teaches.
Okay, brother, we're done talking, brother. We're gonna go ahead and fix that. Okay, so the thing is, it's defined basically to us. He's redeemed us to
Yeah, the
God.
us
Sorry.
it's speaking about is the believers, the Israelite believers. That doesn't need to be said again because it's already understood. This is the last book in the Bible. If you don't understand that by now, then I don't know what you've been reading. It doesn't have to always say Israel to apply to Israel. That's why you go precept upon precept and line upon line.
Right. But how? By the blood, and then it's out of. So the place they're still coming from is still,
because Israel is scattered among all these different nations. That's the condition they would be in when they were being delivered. That's why the elect is going to be gathered from the four corners, from the four winds.
the same. The us is defined by where they come out of.
No, it's not. No, it's not defined by where they come out of.
You see what I'm saying? They're taking it, if they would use that argument, they would take it as has redeemed Israel to God.
That's the only people in the Bible that can be redeemed to God, because the other nations, for one, they're not kin to the Most High or His Son, because the only people that the Lord recognizes as His sons, as kin, are the Israelites. Hence the name, He is a Prince of God. The other nations, the Lord isn't dealing with them, period. So He can't redeem them back to Himself because He was never dealing with them.
Blood. But it's saying us. The question is, who's the us? Well,
the us are the Israelites.
This is
come on, man. The us are the ones that are being delivered.
Defined, where we come out of. And so that's important too, because what you see in there is in Revelation 5:9. It's the preposition ek. That's the out of. And so that's what that means. It comes out of. Well, what's it come out of? Every kindred and tongue and people and nation. So it's
because Israel is scattered among every kindred and tongue and nation. It's very simple. And it's explained in the scriptures. We went into Isaiah the 11th chapter.
Defining the us. So basically, I guess if I was going to have a discussion with him, I'd say, yeah, but who's the us?
Yeah, the us are the Israelites. That's plain and simple.
Going to say Israel, but we're going to say, well, no, let the text define the us.
We are letting the text define the us. I just showed you all the prophecies.
The us is defined right afterwards as those who come out of every kindred, tongue, and people and nation. And one other thing I might bring up is, how did the redemption occur? Again, this is even under the KJV rendering.
It occurred without money, as the scripture prophesied.
Has redeemed us to God by. So that preposition by shows how the redemption occurred.
Yeah, by the Messiah. All the prophecies in the Bible prophesied the Messiah saving the nation of Israel. All of them. There's no prophetic basis for the salvation of the other nations. There isn't none. All right. Hence why the cross reference was running away. They couldn't bring no Old Testament scriptures.
Is that important? Because it's by thy blood. It's not by their birth.
No. That's what I wasn't talking. The blood is talking about Yahweh Shai. Yeah. This guy is taking the piss. He's definitely taking the birdie. Let's go back to Revelation. Whoa, that's crazy. This guy's just anything to try and push their narrative, man. Right? Redeemed by God by thy blood. Redeemed us to God by thy blood. He's talking about the Yahweh Shai. You see how he just twisted that around? Oh, it's not by, bro. This guy's taking the piss.
How the redemption occurred. Why is that important? Because it's by thy blood. It's not by their birth. It's by the blood.
But obviously, it's not by the birth. Obviously, being an Israelite doesn't mean automatically you're of the elect. Yahweh Shai still had to pay the price. The price wasn't being born an Israelite. The price was the sacrifice that Yahushua made. See, he's being disingenuous right now. Oh, it didn't say by birth. It said redeemed by blood because the Lord bought us, man. We were bought for a price, man. And Yahushua made that sacrifice, man. What's he talking about, man? Right? 1 Corinthians 7 and 23. Ye are bought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men. We were bought by Yahushua through his sacrifice, man. What's this guy talking about, man? That doesn't mean it's not talking about Israelites. Right? We got it here. Isaiah 52 and 1. It says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught, ye shall be redeemed without money. So when you go back to Revelations 5 and 9, that's why it says by thy blood. Because that's how we were bought, not by money, but with the blood of the Lamb. But this guy is constantly trying to twist it.
To God by. So that preposition by shows how the redemption occurred.
Why the redemption returned by blood, but that doesn't mean it's not talking about Israelites.
By thy blood. It's not by their birth.
No. We weren't redeemed by birth. Our birth is just what made us eligible to be a part of the redemption. The redemption was paid for not by birth, but by blood. This guy's trying to twist and turn, and it ain't working. And that's why you're losing, son. All right? That's why you're losing. Because the scriptures is against you, man. All right? This is why these guys cannot go into the prophetic record to back up what he's saying. He can't. The Bible makes no sense, right, if you go by what these guys are teaching, because there's a disconnect between what is prophesied and what these guys are saying. Shalom.